All right, surprise, surprise, YouTube. Guess what I'm here to do today? Review another fucking SIG. All right, now to start off, of course, we're gonna show clear. All right, all jokes aside, these are dummy rounds. So these are inert. There is no actual live ammunition here. Just jokes, just jokes. Now, of course, you've got your standard P320, 17 round, full size mag. Can't get the extendeds. This is essentially the same dimensions as a P320 X carry. Or I guess just carry in general. I don't know if they still release the X carry. So this has the 3.9 inch barrel slide, and it has the full size frame. However, this is the AXG. I don't know if they make a compact AXG, but this is like the full size. One thing I have noticed a lot, this grip is a lot thinner and it feels really, really nice, especially with these grip panels on here. This texturing is not too aggressive. The contours of the grip, the undercut, everything on the ergonomics of this handgun honestly beats out my 229 that I used to have. I still want a 226 Elite. I still think that one has had the best ergonomics, but this thing right here has been a dream to shoot, and honestly just to grip in general. Like, it fits, at least my hands, extremely well. I believe the gun is about 7 to 7.5 inches long to about 5.5 to 5.7 inches tall. So keep that in mind, both for your fit in the hand and if you decide to buy a case for this. So takes down and everything just like a standard P320. This is literally just that with tighter tolerances. And I say tighter because, like, there's barely any play, and I know I've held many P320s and there's definitely a lot more play than that. That being said, I like this gun. It is kind of heavy. It's about 31 ounces unloaded, which is, to me, not really that bad. I've just gotten used to all the light guns and everyone complaining about the weight now. A lot of your guns nowadays, like your Glocks, are going to be around 22 ounces probably. So you're going to add about 10 ounces to your carry over a standard polymer framed P320. But one thing I did notice, and I didn't have a lot of time behind the polymer frame P320s, is I ride the slide stop excessively. In fact, even worse than I ever did with my P229. And I don't know if it's because the frame is thinner or if that's even the case. I don't know what it is. Again, this is the only P320 I've owned. I've shot the polymer frame ones, but I don't remember riding this slide release ever so graciously. Like, I literally cannot get this thing to lock back unless I consciously keep my thumb up to the side like this. Because no matter what, I'm always on it somehow, unless I come out here, but then I don't feel like my grip is good. I don't know. Needless to say, it's a P320 and a 229 smashed together, it feels like, but with updated magazines that make sense. Tighter tolerances. This thing shoots like a effing dream. Optics ready. Glow in the dark sights. It's the SIG X-ray night sights. The one thing I will say is this takedown lever is definitely a lot stiffer on the AXG, or at least on this particular one, than on any of the other ones, the polymer frame P320s I've taken apart. The trigger smooths out extremely well, but I don't think there's anything special. It's your basic X series flat trigger. I do notice that although this is a standard mag release, it feels extended because of that thinner grip contour, which is nice because it also still doesn't get in the way. You're not smashing it even with your support hand, but you can get a nice solid purchase on there without even breaking your grip. You don't have to break grip at all. So that is really, really nice. Now, just a couple small things from me noticing, since this is my first P320, or I should say non-hammer fired SIG. I understand why the trigger guards were humongous on the classic P series, as well as some of the older guns like the Beretta M9 and a lot of other, because the double action, single action, the double action trigger pull. But it seems funny. I don't know if they just were trying to keep the aesthetic. It just seems funny having such a massive trigger guard when your trigger max never comes past this point. So I don't know. I mean, that's just a personal funny thing to me. I guess people with bigger hands can still get that, but I don't go in front of the trigger guard, so that doesn't really apply to me. It's just silly to me. It's just something I noticed. Also, the excessive beaver tail here on a non-hammer fired gun. I will say the normal P320's beaver tail is fine. This one is extended. I don't know what the engineering design choice was, if it was purely aesthetic. But if you're carrying this gun, keep in mind you have this very, very large extended beaver tail with no benefit, because there's not really any slide bite to worry about unless you're gripping above the beaver tail somehow, because that's about a solid 3/4 of an inch clearance. And aside from that, you've got no hammer bite to worry about either. So again, I think that was just purely cosmetic. Other than that, the texturing on the AXG is really nice. I will say the machine work is a little weird. I don't know if this was intentional. I guess it was all CNC machined, but there's just these odd little random shelves and ledges on the machining I noticed over long, especially here on the undercut. So again, I guess it was just CNC machined. However, if they're not gonna smooth those things out at the factory, it's really disappointing that you're gonna sell this grip module for $400. A lot of extruded AR handguards, you know, they're made of aluminum, they go through complex CNC machining, and they still can keep them in like $200 range, 100 sometimes. Yeah, there's more expensive ones, 300, 400, but whether they're necessary is up for debate. But I don't know. It's hard to justify buying this frame alone to upgrade your already current P320 to an AXG. So I would say if you already have a P320, don't even worry about it. This gun's great. Is it great enough for the price tag? And just buy a 226 or a 229 if you really want an all metal. Just buy a 226 or a 229, same price. And arguably better, again, up for debate. But this gun, again, it's great for what it is. I would carry it all day long if it was the last gun on earth. Heck, I don't even like Glocks. I'd carry a Glock all day long if it was the last gun on earth. I'm function over form all day long. I think this is pretty. I prefer the two-tone where the slide is black, frame is silver. This, I think, was done tastefully, but could have been refined a little better for trying to sell this for MSRP $1,100, as well as if you want to upgrade your current one, about 400 and something bucks pre-tax, maybe 300 and something, I don't remember, on this frame here. But it's a great shooter. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say on that. So thanks for watching. I guess don't forget to like and subscribe, or do forget and then just don't next time, and then the law of averages will play out. So thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble about absolutely nothing. Am I keeping this gun? Likely not. Actually, that's a whole other thing we'll get into. I'm gonna come full circle with the first gun I ever bought, which I've never told you all about. When I get that, I'll do another review video on that. 3 years post-mortem. Didn't die, I just sold it. But I'm getting a new one. I'm not gonna tell you what model it is. I may have just mentioned it 5 seconds ago and forgot. I hope I didn't. Also, last thing before I go, Tease at the new AR build. All right, cool. Boom. Allah. Yeah. Woo. Oh, shit. No, forget that last part.